Hi guys, welcome to Crypto School YouTube channel. In this video, I will bring to you guys the latest updates on Terra. In this video, we will just take a look at the interview between Luna co-founder and Laura. But before we dive into this interview, presently this token has fallen to around 14.65% in the last 24 hours. As you can see, and the current price of this token is 0.001876 cents. Not only that, the market cap has also dropped to 14.64% in the last couple of days, and the fully diluted cap also dropped around 14.65% as well. Then the volume and market cap also fall between 2.9% as you can see. So all of you need to stay back to see the or to watch the interview between these two people and thereby decide what may likely happen to this token at the end. But as a result of the interview, the tendency of this token, that is Terra Luna, to come up again in a few years is high.
Of Luna, which is the staking token of Terra, but obviously you changed how that works. So why don't you explain what the new system is for people?
Sure. So as a refresher for people that are not intimately familiar with how Terra works, is that the idea is that in order to mint 1 Terra USD, which is a stable coin pegged to $1 US, you need to burn $1 worth of Luna in order to do so. And then on the other side of the trade, if you're looking to redeem 1 Terra USD, you can trade it into the blockchain and get $1 worth of Luna back in return. So the idea is that Luna, as the staking asset, expands and contracts the supply to absorb the demand volatility for Terra stablecoins. We've had some pretty good success with this. So Terra USD is currently the 4th largest stablecoin in the world at roughly around $16 billion in market cap. And I think within a relatively recent future, looking at its current growth trajectory, I think it's going to be number 3 relatively soon. So we recently made announcements whereby we're bootstrapping a large decentralized forex reserve in the form of Bitcoin. So we've initially seeded this reserve with about $3 billion in assets, and we're in the process of converting all those exogenous assets into Bitcoin. And then we have plans to grow this to some meaningful percentage of USD market cap within the next year.
And why did you decide to make that change?
Well, so a couple of things. So the first is algorithmic stablecoins. So a system whereby Luna absorbs demand volatility for USD is reasonably robust, and as Luna market cap grows, it's going to get more and more robust. But it also has the downside that in sort of drastic changes in demand, you could lead to debt spiral situations where the price of Luna is falling at the same time as the money supply of USD is contracting. In the beginning, when Terra was focusing on a limited number of use cases, where the largest developer on the Terra ecosystem was Terraform Labs, which was the company that I founded. But now it's actually one of the largest ecosystems in the world. So by TVL, it is the 2nd largest smart contract platform after Ethereum. By usership, it's probably around that rank. And then the number of applications that are being built on Terra ranges from, let's say, leverage applications to options to forex to interest rate swaps to dog coins like Do Kwon and so many different things, that it becomes harder and harder to reason about the demand volatility for Terra stablecoins. There's also lots of Terra stablecoins that have been exported to different blockchains. For example, UST is the largest used and the largest TVL and the most frequently used pool on Core Finance on Ethereum, for instance. One of the largest on Saber on Solana, one of the largest on Trader Joe on Pangolin on Avalanche. So all combined, sort of the size of the economy that is being built on Terra stablecoins is becoming larger and less predictable. So it stands to reason that similar to how a lot of export-based economies in the real world provision forex reserves to sort of control the short-term demand fluctuations in its currency, it became a natural choice for Terra to provision its own forex reserve as well. Except, in line with what we're trying to do here, it makes sense to do this in a decentralized fashion by setting up smart contracts against which people can trade in Bitcoin to mint more UST, and vice versa, redeem USD against Bitcoin.
So we're going to explore that a little bit more, but I also want to understand, so since previously it was Luna, essentially, that was backing UST, now what will be the role for Luna going forward?
Well, so you can think about this as a fractional forex reserve, right? So in the sense that before, in order to mint 1 Terra USD, you were burning $1 worth of Luna. Now it's going to be a little bit different, whereby when you mint 1 Terra USD, some Luna is going to get burned, and some Luna is going to be used to provision this decentralized forex reserve. So you can think about like a portion of UST seigniorage going to provision a large reserve of exogenous assets like Bitcoin.
So basically, what I read was that when people, I guess, are kind of exiting Terra, that they can either redeem that for $1 worth of UST, they could redeem that for $1 worth of Luna, or 99 cents worth of BTC, but that you guys will try to, well, actually, I don't know this part, if you're trying to maintain the reserves at like roughly 60% Luna and 40% BTC, or if it's just that, because there's some ratio there around, 60% of Luna, and I guess what is it? You're burning 60% of Luna and then using 40% of that to buy BTC or something? Can you?
Yeah, so it's not a reserve ratio per se. It's more that, when UST is being minted, some ratio, which we don't know yet, it could be 40%, be higher or lower, would be used to acquire Bitcoin. So it's as if like UST seigniorage is being used to build up BTC reserves.
Okay, and so then that ratio will be flexible based on whatever other factors, and will it be the DAO?
Right, Bitcoin volatility.
Oh, Bitcoin volatility. And will it be the DAO that decides that ratio, or? Oh, okay. Oh, interesting.
Correct.
Because oftentimes, these proposals can take a while. So how flexible and quick do you think they'll be able to react to market volatility?
Well, so, for example, if we build up Bitcoin reserves at around like 40% of seigniorage, here's what I think about it. So first is, I think it'll take rare events for UST supply to contract by 40% in a short-term time period. So at a 40% reserve ratio, I feel like we would be collateralizing more than we need to, especially because the core stability mechanism is still Luna. But what the Bitcoin reserves will play a part in doing is that it will prevent debt spirals, because it would drastically slow down the pace by which new Luna is being minted to facilitate redemptions. Second, I think in a long-term arc, we plan to be one of the largest, if not the largest, single wallet holder of Bitcoin, the Terra protocol itself. And I think over the long arc, the price of Bitcoin is going to do well. So I think the reserve ratio that we end up with in the long term is going to be a lot higher than the reserve ratio that we paid for acquisition.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But then within kind of a shorter time frame, maybe like from year to year, since obviously Bitcoin can be quite volatile against USD, and also since crypto assets overall tend to be correlated with each other, how would that affect the stability of UST?
Yeah, so I would say if I were to put in my financial planner hat, the worst case would be if we were buying Bitcoin now, and then a crash happens 6 months later, and it's correlated with a massive fall in the demand for UST, then we would have paid for Bitcoin that we would allow redemptions for at a much cheaper price, right? So this sort of coincidence of 3 different events coming together is going to be negative. But the expected value, so, like applying probabilistic reasoning, I think, massive contractions for the UST, it gets less and less in terms of the total outstanding market cap of UST over time. And I think it's not something that happens so frequently as well as, like massive drop in Bitcoin. So I'm sort of betting that the long-term scenario of Bitcoin going up and the reserves being strong enough to withstand UST demand drops is more likely scenario.
Okay, that's really interesting, and it makes sense though. So somebody on Twitter, when I asked what questions I should ask you, tweeted, why does he feel the need to buy Bitcoin to back Luna? Shouldn't Luna be solid enough based on the services provided? It shows a lack of faith in the product. But it's more what you were saying, that you can end up in these like downward spirals, or yeah, what's your response to that?
Well, so there's an economic argument why sort of diversifying the types of collateral that can protect UST is a sound strategy. But I think the second dimension that hasn't been actively discussed is the diplomatic argument. And the reason is, so Terra's goal is to be the largest decentralized money in crypto, period. Its goal is not to be the largest stablecoin in the Terra blockchain. So we're sort of expanding into, let's say, the Solana ecosystem, Avalanche, Ethereum, Polygon, so we plan to be everywhere where there are developers and users. Now, the thing is, different from growing stablecoin demand in the Terra ecosystem itself, where trust in UST is extremely high, when you go to and expand to these different ecosystems, then faith in Luna's collateral, fitness's collateral is a lot less than what it is like in the Terra ecosystem. But if you have Bitcoin as collateral, then nobody in crypto really questions it. Because it is the apex asset, it has the soundest monetary policy, it has the most liquidity. So it builds valuable bridges to be able to be a more neutral asset as we expand across chain.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But one thing is that, so if the Luna Foundation Guard, or LFG, is then using the Bitcoin to keep the peg and it's a centralized entity, then how does that affect the decentralization of UST?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So LFG is a vehicle that we put together in order to facilitate the initial capital formation of this Bitcoin reserve and to fund research such that we can have credible bridging options from Bitcoin to Terra, right? But ultimately, how this reserve system is going to look like is that it's going to be a smart contract which houses Bitcoin that's been bridged over to Terra, and then people can mint UST against it by depositing wrapped Bitcoin, bridge Bitcoin, and then vice versa, they can redeem UST against it, similar to how you would trade against an handle.
So it's similar to wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum then, where there is a centralized entity, or did I misunderstand that?
No, so we're evaluating trust minimized bridges in a way that WBTC doesn't have those properties, right? Because it's basically a multi-sig held by Bitcoin. Whereas for this, we're exploring mainly netcoin-based solutions.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, but obviously at the moment, I think bridges are just an area where there's sometimes security concerns. Yeah, so what are your thoughts on that? How to keep that secure?
I think the biggest problem with bridges now is because there is a competitive dynamic where you need to support as many layer ones as quickly as possible, right? So that leads to situations where a lot of the bridging teams can't spend time on core infrastructure because it's a land grab right now, right? So the bridge that connects to as many ecosystems as possible and facilitates as much bridging transfers are going to win because it's incredibly difficult to remove vendor locking once a certain bridge has a lot of market share. So which incentivizes a lot of these bridging teams to spend most of their time on integrations and business development rather than sort of making sure that the core infrastructure is secure. I think that is the fundamental problem with bridges today. But having said that, that doesn't mean that there is an inherent problem with trying to build a secure bridge from Bitcoin to a smart contract platform, especially if you remove a lot of the needs for that competitive dynamic in the equation.
Okay, yeah, I think we'll have to see how that develops. So someone else was also saying that they felt that it would be disruptive to Luna to buy so much Bitcoin. So how do you expect all of this to affect the price of Luna?
Yeah, so one of the common criticisms that we heard is, well, if before you were burning $1 worth of Luna for every dollar of USD that's minted, and now we're burning 60 cents of Luna for every $1 worth of USD that's minted, then doesn't that mean less value is accrued to Luna? And I think the answer is likely going to be no. And that's because even though the total share of the collateralization effects from minting UST is lessened during this change, I think overall we would be able to grow the pie of people that are willing to transact and hold UST across all political blockchains to a magnitude that wouldn't have been possible if UST only had one collateral counterparty. Right? So by adding Bitcoin, I think we'd be able to win the hearts and minds of a lot more people in crypto and a lot more users than just getting this sold. So I think the overall pie is going to get larger, even though the size of we capture could potentially go down.
And have you noticed that a lot of Bitcoiners got very interested in what you were doing and maybe were interested in participating in the Terra ecosystem because of that?
So if you look at Ethereum box now, it looks like the Bitcoin box for.
And so what are people saying generally?
Like it or not, I think the Bitcoin community is the largest across all of it. It covers the widest possible audience. So like the Bitcoin community might be less active on Twitter because there are lots of people that use Bitcoin, love Bitcoin, might not work on it full time. But I think one of the things that Bitcoin has been needing is that there's a lot that has been said comparing Bitcoin to Ethereum and thinking about what's going to be more valuable long term. And then the idea is that Ethereum is more useful. There's more things that you can do with it, so eventually it's going to go with Bitcoin. So a lot of people think this way. But I think precisely what gives Bitcoin its value is the fact that it's calcified and it's very slow to change to innovation, right? Similar to how, like if you look at Ethereum, right, it changes less quickly than some of the other smart contract platforms, but it still changes all the time, right? It is newer, it doesn't really have the same founding myth, it doesn't have, the same linking effect that Bitcoin does, so it's significantly a less credibly neutral asset, right? So I think from that perspective, there's a large and huge Bitcoin community that respects that value system, understands the credible neutralness of the Bitcoin as an asset class. But what is lacking is sort of a credible narrative, if you think about it. Because Bitcoin is still very difficult to use, still very difficult to weave into smart contracts, and in Terra, it gets that. Not only does Bitcoin become a reserve currency for Terra USD, right? But it also gets a layer 2 on which it can be bridged and used across a multitude of different applications, spanning from let's say, other DAOs that are building on Terra to NFTs to DeFi. And I think the possibilities of that are quite interesting because now Bitcoin only needs to be really good at being one thing, being an asset. And in terms of all the expressivity, the transaction capabilities, the throughput, all those things happen on Terra.
And is the main difference, because I do feel like there were Bitcoiners who weren't very happy about the amount of Bitcoin that was being used in DeFi on Ethereum, but is the difference there that primarily was, being held by this centralized custodian? Is that why they're kind of more open to this than they were to the other version happening on Ethereum?
I think the primary thing that those Bitcoiners didn't like about that was that it was being done in Ethereum. One.
Oh.
and two, I think the fact that it had a centralized custodian has something to do with it. But I also think there's a healthy segment of Bitcoiners that bringing LBTC into Ethereum was a positive change.
And out of curiosity, this goes back to the security question, but I realize so at the moment, you guys have already bought $3 billion worth of Bitcoin as far as I understand. So how is that being secured?
So the Luna Foundation Guard has a council of about 7 people. So it's secured in a multi-sig held by council members.
Oh, I see. Okay. And then you're going to figure out kind of how to use it in a more trustless way as you go, like at some point in the future?
Correct.
Okay. And then how have you been purchasing the Bitcoin in a way where, I'm sure you're trying to do where you're not affecting the price?
It's an ongoing program, so I'm going to try to say less. But let's just say that we try to purchase Bitcoin whenever our opportunity arises.
Okay. All right. It makes sense to me that you don't want want to reveal all your secrets there. So, and then actually just to go back to the bridging, one other thing, so do you have a timeline of when you think that, you know, whatever your plan is will be fully deployed?
Yeah, so we're actually going to put out a request for proposal today on Aura, which is Terra's research farm. And we're going to look for proposals from projects that are already looking at Bitcoin bridging solutions. So there's a number that focus on specifically this problem. So there's Axelar in the Cosmos ecosystem, so they have bridges to different chains. But they first sort of came to market with this idea that you can bring Bitcoin to the Cosmos. Also, there's No-Make BTC, which is working on a similar problem. We reached out to from the folks at Blockstacks. So maybe we'll evaluate some of these solutions, and then I think in the beginning we'll try to dip our toes in with diversified distribution across several different bridging solutions, and then I think over time we'll see one or two that rise to the top.
So one thing was that I noticed in the announcement, or maybe in a blog post or somewhere, that the reason given for purchasing Bitcoin as collateral was that it was uncorrelated to Terra, and I think you said that over time the reserve would be stocked with other uncorrelated assets. So what other assets do you have in mind, and how will you make those decisions about which ones to include?
Well, so like earlier, I noted that building exogenous forex reserves is driven as much by diplomatic arguments as by economic ones, right? So I think it makes sense that as we expand into different chains, if we sort of build a system whereby some portion of USD is being used to acquire native staking assets of those chains, then in that case, I think we'll be able to buy a lot of goodwill and user comfort with that because, well, this is for obvious reasons.
Oh, so but you're thinking crypto assets then?
Crypto assets, yes.
Oh, okay. It sounds like whatever chains you end up bridging to, those would be kind of prime candidates.
Yeah, so I'm kind of thinking that the vast majority of the value would be in Bitcoin, but I think there should be still small, forex reserves on each of the smart contract platforms against which you can mint and redeem in native staking assets because the user experience of that is much more friendly, right? So for example, if you're trying to mint on Solana, for instance, like you don't want to have to bridge Bitcoin over and then like whereas like if you can just like burn Solana and then mint UST, then that's a very fun user experience.
Yeah, it's much easier. So in terms of these assets in the Luna Foundation Guard Reserve, obviously Bitcoin and then whatever else you add, what will you be doing with that? Will you be lending it at all? Are we hypothecating it in any way? Or, what are your thoughts there?
No, you wouldn't touch it until the reserve system is ready to go.
Ready to go? No, but I mean, when it is ready to go, then it will only be, I guess, used for like minting and redeeming, or will you be doing anything additional with it?
So yeah, it wouldn't be deployed, it would just be put into, like the easiest way of thinking about it is that once the bridging is ready, and then we're working on a very special type of DEX, it's kind of like a virtual AMM, whereby you can deposit UST and then deposit Bitcoin and people can trade against it. So once that's done, we will deposit and we will look to burn the keys once we no longer the keys are no longer necessary.
Wait, I don't know if I fully understand. You're saying that this is the Bitcoin that's being put up as the reserve. You're going to essentially use it like as a liquidity pool on a DEX?
So how this system works is that we're going to set up a special smart contract into which it's going to accept two pools. It's going to accept a pool of UST, and it's going to accept a pool of Bitcoin. And then the oracle is going to be streaming prices in terms of what the effective price is of Bitcoin at that given moment in time. So at any point, people can mint UST, so retrieve the UST from this pool by depositing Bitcoin at an exchange rate of what the oracle is telling us at par value. And then on the redemption side, you will be able to deposit UST back and then retrieve Bitcoin at 99% of par. So by enforcing some small spread on the redemption side, you can make sure that the reserves only kick in when there's a defect in your mental UST.
Oh, I see now. This is very Fascinating. And then just to go back, actually, when we were talking about additional assets, who would decide which assets get added to the reserve? Would that be the DAO, or would it be just like deals you make with those chains, or how would you be deciding that?
So, actually, after we launched LFG, these are very opinionated people, and then they come from very different places from the ecosystem, but also people that are from like somewhere in between, right? So we've gotten a ton of proposals. Some people offering to negotiate, some discount deal with some other conditions, or there's a really good market opportunity for this asset because it seems cheap right now, but we haven't been able to reach quorum on buying anything else besides Bitcoin so far.
You mean in the DAO, or like among the multi-stakeholders, or who's in the quorum?
So among the multi-stakeholders.
Okay. So let's talk about Anchor. Currently it pays out interest of almost 20%. And obviously we've seen in recent weeks there are a number of people, including crypto investors such as Polychain Capital and Arca, that are concerned that this interest rate is not sustainable. What do you think of that opinion? And then what factors would have to be in place for you to think that it's time to lower that yield?
Well, so the definition of sustainability is the extent to which something can be sustained. Well, so another way of putting this is that when we first launched Anchor, the really interesting story is that most people that we spoke to said that 19% is too low. They didn't do that because that was back during a time in early 2021 when you could still get like 100%, 200% APR on stablecoin pools. So the idea was that, no, you guys are not going to get any market share with 19% because it's too boring in DeFi. Like, you guys are still like thinking in the mindset of traditional finance companies, like you can't be Wells Fargo anymore. Like everything needs to be in triple digits to catch attention. And so we heard that, but we saw a future in which the yields could come down in the future where, when the demand for leverage collapses, then in that case, during this sort of bearish market, like yields would converge to something that you see in traditional finance plus some risk premium. And that's exactly what we have today. And now people are saying, the same people actually that said 20% is too low are now saying that 19% is unsustainable. And it's not so much that 19% needs to be held in perpetuity. That is definitely not the goal. But if you're asking the question of whether Anchor can be a valuable tool in sort of modulating this sort of volatility in leverage demand in crypto to offer something that is a rate of growth, right? So 20% is definitely higher than what you get in other stablecoin pools. But at the same time, it's something that we can responsibly bring down slowly over some period of time, and then I think the answer is yes.
And what kind of, what would need to be happening for you to think that, okay, now is the time to lower it?
So actually, recently there was I think a government's proposal on Anchor whereby the Anchor rate is changing to a dynamically calibrated rate. So the idea is that every month, the protocol will take assessment of the change in the size of the yield reserve month over month. And it would change the Anchor rate by the change in that delta. So for example, if the yield reserve goes down by 5%, then it would lower the Anchor rate by 5%. 5% of the 20, so that would be like 1%. Right? And vice versa, if the yield reserve has been operating at a surplus, then it would slightly increase the Anchor rate to something that's more reasonable. So that allows the protocol to calibrate itself to a state where it can reasonably operate at a surplus over some long period of time. But at the same time, the changes aren't so drastic because the maximum rate of change that can happen over that month is relatively small.
Okay, that sounds interesting. And so Anchor now has also launched an avalanche. Have you decided to move to any additional chains, and will you have the same yield on all the chains?
Yeah, so the yield opportunity on the lending side is going to be consistent across all the chains. So we just went live on Avalanche. We're going live on with on Atom and on the Solana. I think over the next couple of weeks. And then we'll be following that up with Polygon.
Oh, okay. All right, Do, you made it through all the...
So, with that comprehensive interview between Laura and Do Kwon, the co-founder of Terra Lab. It seems that Terra will bounce back again, but with that, this is just my opinion. It is not for financial reason, it is for educational purpose, and I've promised that I'll keep you guys updated as soon as I get latest update about Lunar Terra and UST. So guys, this is what we have for you about this token for now. And if you are new to my channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, top below the bell button, so that you'll be notified again once I publish another video on this channel. And you have my subscribers, guys, I thank you, because with you, that is why I'm here. And thank you so much for watching and everything. God bless you.